However, we need to go ahead and go on air at Channel 5. Let me know when we're on. I'm just going to continue to run. Stephen, are you able to push an alert on the live stream that we currently have?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and push an alert. Tornado warning because of that gust of wind that we're talking about right now, pushing over Logan County. Trevor, you got me? Let me know if you need anything from me. I appreciate you. Tornado warning, Logan County, east of Paris. This includes Morrison Bluff, Scranton, Shoal Creek, and then southern Johnson County. From Knoxville to Lamar, tornado warning, you need to make sure that you are in your safe place. We're watching a huge gust of wind right now, push across Logan County, and it's helping to mechanically rotate there on the north side. Okay, here we go. This is a closer look. Okay, we're on air. All right, if you guys are just joining us on Channel 5, we have a live stream on all our platforms on 5 Plus and the 5 News app, so you can always get coverage there. We're hopping on the airwaves right now. New tornado warning for Logan County and southern Johnson County. Huge push of wind. We've got some 90-mile-per-hour winds pushing with this cell east of Paris. And on the north side, we have a little bit of that rotation. I'm going to step off for just a second. I'll be right back with you. I'm going to zoom in on this storm for you and show you exactly what we're talking about. This is coming through Scranton, Morrison Bluff, headed right towards the Arkansas River. This is probably going to stay just south of Clarksville. But if you are in Lamar, from Spadra, Knoxville, cross over the Arkansas River at Morrison Bluff, headed into Scranton, that's where this circulation is headed through. We've got the potential for tornado to touch down at any time because of this gust of wind. What's going on is this light color, almost now an orangey color because the winds are so strong. In fact, we're estimating winds higher up in the atmosphere to now be almost 100 miles per hour. That doesn't mean we're getting all the wind at the ground. But what's that doing? It's helping to rotate the storm that could potentially now put down a tornado. Coming through the Scranton and Morrison Bluff area, Shoal Creek as well. You need to be making sure that you're in your tornado safe spot if you live in eastern Logan County, up and down 22, from Subiaco east. So Paris, you are not underneath this tornado warning, but if you do live in Shoal Creek, Scranton, Morrison Bluff, you need to be making sure that you're in your tornado safe spot. This is where that cell is, kind of right in this notch. See this notch that's coming in Scranton? That's where we have the most rotation coming on through, and we'll continue to watch that right here coming in to eastern Logan County. I'm going to pull up a couple different things off to the side for a second as we try to take a look, see if anything we see trying to touch the ground. It's hard to say. There is a little bit of a messy radar beam in southwestern Scranton, so this would be right where that notch is. So southwest side, this would be south, coming right over Greasy Valley Road. So you go south of Scranton, Greasy Valley Road, you go over that bridge, you've got the little lake there. That's exactly where we're talking about, headed into Subiaco. So anywhere from the Geneva Park, the Subiaco Abbey, that's where I believe they have the monk sauce, the Trojan Stadium, you got the Subiaco baseball fields, and then you head west past the co-op, is where we have that gusty wind threat.
You want me to
got
pull
some
up,
rotation?
You want me to pull up shear?
Yeah, if you could pull it up on there, that'd be great. So we're going to pull up the rotation. You're going to see exactly where we're looking for this rotation. So between Subiaco and Scranton, you look east, so Shoal Creek and Scranton, got to be looking out. Once again, that road, Greasy Valley Road, headed out of Scranton, going south, and you cross over the lake. That's exactly where this thing is going. Here's a closer look. Here's Subiaco, there's Sand Ridge. You go a little bit farther to the east, we have Prairie View and Shoal Creek. This is this rotation. I'm looking at some radar data, and it does look like, I think we do have a tornado on the ground. Hey, Stephen, if you're able to maybe push an alert, possible tornado on the ground just south of Scranton. We're starting to get a debris right here. That's south of Scranton, coming right over the little lake. I don't remember what the lake is. Probably Subiaco something, Subiaco Reservoir. Up and down Greasy Valley Road. If you live anywhere near Greasy Valley Road, you can even see the radar is starting to pick up on some extra wind right there. Northern Logan County, possible tornado on the ground, south of Scranton and south of Subiaco. So right around the Subiaco area, headed south toward the Subiaco Reservoir, that's where we have this possible tornado on the way. The Mount Magazine Scenic Byway cuts just south of that, so we're going to have to watch that as well with this possible touchdown. Just looking at some data, it does look like there's...
They just trimmed it.
They just trimmed it? Okay. Now it's on the southeast side of Scranton. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more. So once again, meteorologist Stephen Elmore, he's helping me track this storm. There's that trimming that you see. But right here over Prairie View in the southeast side of Scranton is where we have the most rotation. Tokelon, we're next. This thing is headed towards southern Johnson County next. We start to get really rural here for a while. That correlation coefficient really went up. I don't know if you're looking at that. It's quite a debris ball headed right towards Knoxville and Lamar. This is going to probably stay just south of Clarksville, but possible tornado south of Scranton headed towards Knoxville and Lamar.
A confirmed tornado located over Scranton or 8 miles south of Clarksville, moving east at 45 miles per hour.
All right, confirmed tornado coming in from the National Weather Service. Confirmed tornado southeast side of Scranton. About right here over Prairie View.
I'm going to draw out the
headed
cone.
Towards the north and east. I appreciate that.
Yep.
So it has now left the reservoir. It's headed right towards Ellsworth Road and Midway, and then north. There you go. So coming out of Scranton,
yeah,
we're headed towards some of those Arkansas River bottoms. Tokelon, we're next. I mean, this is some rural country out here. But the next thing that you have on the other side of the river will be Lamar and Knoxville. There's the timing, Tokelon 119, Lamar 128. Tornado on the ground right now. Probably about to cross the Arkansas River within the next 5 minutes. If you're in southeastern Johnson County, Garrett, Knoxville, Lamar, Bend, got to be in your safe place. That means you get away from as many walls as you can. Try to get as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Big rotation here. We have a huge gust of wind that in the upper levels pushing 100 miles per hour to the east, and it's turned this tornado on the southeast side of Scranton. Still have the debris ball just about 5 miles west of Knoxville. So we got this debris ball. It's headed towards you guys. Knoxville, Lamar, got to be in your safe place. Confirmed tornado about to cross the Arkansas River. This thing is plowing east about 45 miles per hour. So this, and it's pretty large too. When I'm looking at some of the data, this thing could be over about a half mile wide. There's a lot of debris being picked up southeast side of Scranton, headed east-northeast. New scan coming in from the radar right over Tokelon. Scranton and Prairie View, the tornado has now passed you guys, but into the Tokelon area and just about to get to the Arkansas River. So a couple things in that area. You got the Ware Chapel area right along 197, and then right before you get to the Arkansas River bottoms, right where this white line is, that's where the Arkansas River is. You're going to pass over Lake Dardanelle. If you live anywhere near Cabin Creek, there's that there's the park on the south side. You go north to the Lookout. You head towards Knoxville. You go past the Dollar General, headed north on 64. You go past the Red Oak gas station, and you come right into Lamar. This is where this tornado is headed on the ground, eastern Logan County. Make sure you're in the safe place. So now this is leaving Scranton, Shoal Creek, Subiaco, and Paris. You guys are now safe from this tornado. But this tornado is just about, you can see right there. Most of some of this is being picked up, but it's right here on the southeast side. So it's starting to clear the Scranton area. There's not a lot here. It's some beautiful river country just south and west of the river, but it's headed right towards Knoxville and Lamar. Should stay just south of Clarksville, but we do have that confirmed tornado on the ground. We're getting an update from the severe thunderstorm warning, I believe, is too. With this storm, whether you get hit by the tornado or not, there's still a lot of gusty winds that are just blowing on through, headed right to the Arkansas River. New scan coming in. Let's see what we got. Still a debris ball. It looks maybe slightly smaller. The problem is it's hard to tell because there's not as much being picked up right now. But you have a huge gust of wind. Sorry, say that again.
You want that coefficient?
Yeah, if you could put it all up for a second. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's that debris ball that we're talking about. This green and yellow color. Notice how it's different than everything else. This is that debris ball just about to cross over the river. I think a new scan is just about to come in on mine. But Lamar, Lamar High School is right in the path of this storm. From Lamar High School to the Dollar General there on the north side of Knoxville. Stephen's getting a track here. Let's put that through. So Garrett, 127, 131 for Hickeytown. This is just about to cross the river. Scranton and Shoal Creek. Man, it's loud, but the tornado has now passed you guys. You can see the tornado where it is on the ground. And you always got to move it a little bit farther because the sand comes in late, right? So this thing is probably crossing the Arkansas River, just starting to, and then headed east. So once again, the Cabin Creek area, Lake Dardanelle. So the river gets a little bit wider here, so we call it Lake Dardanelle, but it's all part of just the river system. You cross over, New Scan coming in, about to cross the river, headed right towards Knoxville. So Knoxville, anywhere from, about the Dollar General, north to Lamar High School. That's where this thing is probably going. But if you are in Knoxville or Lamar, you got to get your safe place. Tornado warning continues for eastern Logan County into southern Johnson County. This is going to stay south of Clarksville. But as soon as you get south of Clarksville, that's where this thing picks up from Lamar to Knoxville. That's where this thing is headed. Knoxville City Park. You go north along Highway 64. You got some of those auto sale places that are right on the strip there. You got the hole in the wall. You head towards the Red Oak gas station. There's the Lamar RV park. And then you come into Lamar. You pass over Harris Pond, which is just off of 64. Just want to kind of give you as many landmarks as possible. But Lamar into Warrior Stadium, just south of the high school, middle school, and elementary school. This is where this thing is headed. Could you bring in just the rotation tracker again? Take a look at that when you have a chance. As this thing is plowing over the river right now. Now, as it goes over the river, it's very hard to get a debris ball because there's not a lot it can pick up. So see how it's starting to get a little messy right now? There's not a lot for it to hit, which is good, but it's harder to see. When things are being hit, you see things in the radar beam, and so it's a little bit easier to track, unfortunately, but that's how things work here with the radar. But we're crossing the Arkansas River and Lake Dardanelle right now and coming right towards Lamar and Knoxville. You got to be in your safe place. At times, this debris ball has been measured to be a little over a half-mile wide. Hard to exactly say how wide this tornado could be at this time, but this is crossing over the river, headed towards Cabin Creek. If you live in the Cabin Creek area, be in your safe spot. This is coming over the Arkansas River as we speak, about 45 miles per hour. This thing is plowing right towards Knoxville. You see some of that rotation coming over the river now. Knoxville, Lamar, it may be trending a little bit farther south towards the Knoxville area. So that would put this right over Cabin Creek. You head anywhere from there's the outdoor market on the south side. You go past Dollar General. You go north to Knoxville City Park. And then 64, right where you're basically watching I-40 on the right-hand side of your car. You're going north. North side of Knoxville is especially going to be impacted by this this confirmed tornado that's on the ground. Once again, confirmed by the National Weather Service. We can see it in our radar beam right now as it's tracking east, 45 miles per hour. If you live in Logan County, okay, it has crossed the river now. You see that? This is coming right where 64 and I-49 basically touch. You go right along there. I'm looking at some traffic data as well. Traffic is now moving slower right along 64 and I-40 as this tornado is likely crossing over the Lamar RV park. You got the quarry on the other side. There's the Harris Pond area. You go anywhere north to Warrior Stadium and the elementary school, and south of the elementary school for Lamar, up and down 64, south of Sweet Treats, south of Big Papa's Barbecue, anywhere between the Dollar General in Lamar to the Dollar General in Knoxville, this thing is crossing over. But we are looking at some slowing traffic on I-40 and Highway 64, watching this possible tornado continue to push on through. It's very hard to see right now because it's been crossing over the river, and once it hits the bank, there's just a lot of trees, and you've got the Cabin Creek area, so hard to see. Plus, not only do we have a rain-wrapped tornado, which is harder to see, we have a lot of wind pushing through Knoxville, which could be the equivalent of even an EF0 tornado hitting the whole town of Knoxville just with that wind speed. But the tornado itself would be on the north side, probably has now crossed I-64 or Highway 64 and I-40, right over the Harris Pond, right over the quarry. Next, you're going to head towards 2650, which is coming out of Lamar, and the north end of the Piney Bay campground. This is going to be next. Once again, tornado warning, Johnson County, now headed west, or headed east towards Pope County. If you live near the Piney Bay campground, this thing is headed towards you guys. And then the Hickeytown RV park, which is a little bit farther north. There's that inlet that's coming out. The Big Piney Creek that goes from the Arkansas River and northbound towards Piney Bay. This is where that possible tornado is pushing on through. It's very hard to tell. Yeah, it's so messy now. So messy now. It's hard to say if there's a tornado on the ground still. But we did have a tornado from Scranton and the Shoal Creek area, and it has moved east, crossed over Tokelon, and then crossed over the Arkansas River, and we still had a debris ball coming into Lamar, but now it's a little bit harder to see. There's that rotation. You look at the easternmost one, probably has now crossed.
No warning.
Highway 64. Sorry, say that again?
No warning.
The warning's just been canceled by the National Weather Service? All right, because you really don't see it anymore. Tornado warning now canceled for southeastern Johnson County and eastern Logan County. But we did have a tornado touchdown. We're going to try to get more information on cleanup and where it exactly pushed on through, what it hit, how folks are doing. We're going to try to get that information for you overnight. Make sure you tune in by tomorrow morning for our 5 News at 6 and 7, and we'll have some more information coming to you. But once again, severe thunderstorm warning continues because we still have a lot of gusty winds that are 60 to 75 miles per hour. At the upper level, still estimating some winds around 90 or so. Still watching a slowdown.